Yeah, we were saying this about there being chaos in our last race, but a reminder now of our starting order for our second go here at Daytona.
Yeah, so here is how the grid is going to line up for part two then of the first race of the weekend then for the Manufacturers' Cup. Mazda and Gardner want pole position. Subaru and Danny Solis head the second position of the grid. Then the second row is headed by Sato in P3. Toyota with Kai De Bruyne in fourth place. Then Lexus and Harold Valson line up on P5. They have got Lamborghini Suzuki Grotto. He was right at the back of the field, if you remember, the first running of this one. So opportunity knocks for them. Ferrari down in seventh place. Honda are in eighth position with Trent Jeffrey alongside their BMW Ram Haywood in ninth position. The top 10 completed by Mercedes-AMG and Sasaki. Then you have got McLaren with Yamamoto. Let's see what progress they can make. Nissan down there though in 12th. Philo with a lot of work to do, considering that they were originally starting in fourth place. It has not gone well so far for Nissan. They were involved in that big crash that we saw, which brought out the red flag ultimately. So now down to 6 laps of action then, and let's see how this one is going to work out. Originally it was a 10-lap race distance, now down to 6, so slightly reduced race distance. I'm sure opportunity knocks for some of the teams and some of the drivers, but it is going to be very interesting to see how this one is going to work out. And also for Subaru there, they can thank their lucky stars really, because it did not work out at all.
No, I mean, like I say, getting sort of shunted to the back of the pack there is not ideal. But another go in now as we roll around, rolling start, as we come to the start-finish line. 6 laps at the Daytona Oval Circuit. High speeds, high risks here in the first race of the grand final of the Manufacturers' Cup. Will Team Mazda lead from the get-go? Will Team Subaru manage to spin around this time? Let's find out.
Absolutely, there we go then. The restart is about to get underway for the first race of the Manufacturers' Cup for the 2025 GT World Finals. Mazda across the line first, with Subaru and Porsche slotting behind in second and third place. Respectively, we come through and in towards the first third. Now we're talking about driving in the low line for the first time. They're already starting to bump draft in the first corner. That's the problem when you get bump drafting in a situation like that through a corner. You can turn these cars around with almost your little finger, because it's just on the flagging in position. Now down the back straight. Now we'll see how effective this thing is proving to be. You can see Subaru and Mazda working together here, bumping one another as we come down this back straight. Is he ready to pull out the victory? Go for a higher line in towards this left-hander. No opportunity moving there for Toyota. They go towards the sort of middle line of it, but you can see them moving around constantly at this point of the corner.
Yes, hard work. This is when the drivers very easy and sun. And just make those small mistakes. It's very, very important to try and stay in your line and keep consistent. The moment you duck out, you have to hope someone goes with you, otherwise you're left there. They're going to think Ferrari use the side draft. They help there on the outside. We can't see at the moment. They do have Team BMW. They're going to the high side, trying to push. Maybe got form that second lane. They've got no other choice, there's no other way they're going to get through otherwise. So points to the top 6, just to remind you, in this race. And in terms of the points as well, you get 6 points for the victory, all the way down to 1 point for 6th position. Now Ferrari, they go that high line on the outside. They've got Lamborghini on the low side here as we cover down this back straight over the timing line. And let's see how it's going to work out then. So we begin lap 3, Mazda is in lead, Subaru are in second place, then you've got Porsche in third position, followed by Toyota, followed by Lexus. Over into the first third we go. You can see pumping and barging in the sort of mid to latter pack as they sneak their way through. We're not seeing anyone going 2 by 2 from the first couple of corners. Down this back straight we go though. Are we going to see positions beginning to change hands? There's not a lot of time now, of course. Original race distance 10 laps, now down to 6 laps already at the halfway stage, and we're on lap 3 here. At the moment, it's still Mazda, Subaru and Porsche who lead from the front. Yeah, I mean, you have to start doing something different now and think about it again. All I've seen really is Team Ferrari and Lamborghini touched Ferrari. They just went under the bottom line there. Car spins around Ferrari as well, no fault of her own. And then there were 10. So Ferrari were trying to bend something around the outside. In the end, just got collected. Something that was not there. But there is another boys, sort it out. Come on.
Not good at all there for Jeffrey. He's going to be bitterly disappointed, but that's what's will the entire Honda team with 2x2 in the background. Now we're starting to see the action taking place. But is it enough for Mazda and Subaru? Have they broken their way into a lead? Not really, because it closed up at the end of the back straight. So we come through in towards the final turn on this Daytona Oval. Now we're going to start seeing Subaru beginning to pull some punches. The problem with that Subaru is it's very quick in technical corners on technical circuits in a straight line. Not necessarily so. Late Anderson in Street 3. This was quite a hope for a bump drop there for Porsche. Across the line we go. Penultimate lap now begins. It's still Mazda that leads. Subaru in second. Porsche in third. Points down the sticks once again. Just to remind you, at the moment, this mishap will be the final point scorers.
Anyone going to take a risk here? We've seen what happens to Ferrari and Lamborghini at Honda. You take a risk, you get shunted. So, I mean, there's nothing, they're all one a turn right now. Mazda in the fortuitous position, leading that pack. You have to pick your way. It doesn't matter where you are here, it matters where you are crossing the line. And in the next lap, right now, Mazda's will be the victor. But I have a feeling it's going to get a little more spicy before we get into the race.
Yeah, you get the sense this is going to start to bubble up. What a disappointment though for Lamborghini and for Ferrari, especially for Ferrari, that brand new 296 car that they are competing with here this weekend. Let's hope that their second and third race respectively go quite well. We begin at the final lap of action though with the Daytona Tri-Oval. So Mazda from Subaru from Porsche as we come down in towards the first turn for the final time. Don't think anyone's going to figure out a higher line for them, but they're certainly bumping one another going through and all sticking to quite a low line. But look at Porsche, they're coming to pressure from Toyota. I wonder if the door is starting to overtake the Toyota there and whether they're going to try and pick their pocket for that final podium place to pick up more points. Down the back straight we go for one final time.
Someone's got to try something here. BMW giving a penny for colliding. It's bump drafting, is it not? And then we'll see if we get a repair that later on, but in the matter now, final lap.
Unless it's the Honda that we saw a couple of laps ago, maybe through the final corner we go though. So Mazda is in lead from Subaru from Porsche. We run to the line in race one of the Manufacturers' Cup World Finals here, and it's going to be first blood to Mazda. Porsche in third place, just behind Team Subaru. Toyota are in fourth, Lexus are fifth, and the final point position is occupied by Nissan ahead of McLaren and BMW, who managed to nick the final points place despite that 1 second penalty on the final lap of racing there here. And a great end to that one. Good job though from the eventual winners of Mazda and from Samuel Cardinal, the driver of that car, because he didn't accept.
So then, the second race of the Manufacturers' Cup, Autopolis in the West, and Mazda took first blood a few moments ago in the first race of the weekend. Can they convert to a second win and extend the lead in the points championship? Well, Europe drive for in the second race. Will be with Subaru on the front row of the grid. It's for Jose Serrano for Porsche in P3. Morimoto Toyota lines up in fourth position. Lexus and Ganassi Kawakami in P5. Of course, former double champions. Nissan also former Manufacturers' Cup champions lining up P6. Martin is seventh on the grid of BMW with Thomas Labutale lining up in P8. Mercedes Antonelli lining up in ninth position. And P10 is Honda with Suzuki Miura. 11th place Lamborghini and Alifa in that final row of grid with José Zeus for Ferrari. A lot of work for both Lamborghini and Ferrari to do. Not a lot of time to do it, Jimmy, because it's only a 5-lap lap.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tricky for the guys. They're going to have to try and experiment with grip levels. With something they've not had the chance to do so. I mean, Autopolis tricky circuit, the best of time. That is the fact now that you're wet using the spray from the car in front of you lower down the field. I mean, Paul Uri's in pole position in two ways, really. One, he's literally there, and two, he has that spray to deal with, so he gets a much easier job going down to T1 for the first time. But interesting to see which cars and which teams really make the most of these conditions.
Well, just a reminder, points of course awarded down to 10th place in this race. 12 points on offer for the victor, 10 points for second, 8 points down to third, and then of course, as we know, points all the way down to P10 and double points for the grand final. In terms of top points, a little bit more than that actually, because it's 24 points in total for the victory. But more on that a little bit later. Let's get ready to go for race 2 of the Manufacturers' Cup here in Fukuoka. It's time to go racing at the Autopolis Raceway with Mazda across the line first from Subaru, from Porsche as we come in towards that first corner in the heavy wet conditions. So wet tyres are medical drivers, no need to worry about any pit stops in this race. Not really going to be set to dry out, but going to be able to master these conditions in the wet. So Subaru there in second position with Porsche, who are in P3. And are we going to see Porsche going to get an early advantage here on Subaru? Well, it certainly looks like they're going to the outside line here, and they're going to be sweeping around the outside. Oh, look at that move stick. Absolutely brilliant there for Porsche and for Sato, getting the better of Subaru and Ford's Kimamiya, who drops himself down to third place. We see Nissan versus Toyota before placing in the background as well.
Nissan, they're chucking that car around and knocking Toyota out of the way. I'm not sure Stuart's going to enjoy that one, but a robust move there from the fourth place team. Coming up towards Kimamiya, looking at the back of the Porsche, around the outside of him there. It just goes to show the different lines work in these wet conditions. Driving on the rubbered up dry line is a good way to slide wide. So you've got to try and avoid that as Team Toyota making their way back by Nissan. McLaren is back too. Try and wind their way through as Nissan scrambles some traction and corner exit here. Treacherous conditions these drivers, and that spray as well really makes things difficult.
Yeah, so it does come down to the bottom of the circuit. The advantage that Mazda already built up about half a second or so. Doesn't sound like a particularly huge amount, but it is quite significant, especially in this early stage of the race. Here at Morimoto there in Toyota, Nissan very close behind Hiroshi Okamoto, the two Japanese drivers, the two Japanese manufactured cars in fourth and fifth place there respectively. Can they make an impact here on this race? Through the left-hander and then through this long, lazy right which completes the lap. As you can see the different lines there, Nissan trying to go for the inside line. It's going to work on Toyota, but they've got track position. It's just going to sort of converge as they come through the left-hander. They're going to shove the curve on the outside of Toyota. Might going to pick the advantage back between them. They bang against one another as we come down the start finish for Toyota then into fourth. Nissan still sitting there in P5.
Yeah, all the squabbling sets the top three get away. Nissan back. Left turn, Toyota off into the corner pocket goes Team Toyota into the gravel trap and down to last place. What a shame, because these guys were looking good in the standings. That's going to be huge for them there. You can see the teammates not happy with that whatsoever. Can't be blaming there for sure.
No doubt about it. Stuart's going to be into that one, but Morimoto will be bitterly disappointed with that, as will the whole Team Toyota outfit. And Nissan, as you say, I imagine Okamoto is going to be facing some kind of sanction for that incident. Meanwhile, Nissan, sorry, Mazda is the lead the way. Let's have another look, and you can see here, Toyota in fourth place, Nissan going for that lunge on the inside. The gap is there, but unfortunately, it sort of two doesn't go into one, and then, well, you see what happens. Toyota straight to the scene of the accident.
Yeah, the gap was there. I think that was Ratzer driving the car there. So yeah, going to be that one. But back at the front of the field, Paul Euro doing a good job. Fending off the attacks of the team Porsche there. This is the wheel that one, Tom. This is the wheel that right now. We know how fast. Sorry. There he is. But yeah, we know how quick he is. Very strong team Porsche. Angel coming in and saying we've got a chance, so they really do. If they keep up these performances, getting by Team Mazda, they'll have to happen, because right now they're very quick.
Well, the moment they're making points, let's not forget. Look at the sliding there for Serrano. He's just trying to find the limits of grip. He's just scoring a little bit beyond that. But they're tied on points, so anything ahead of this race is going to gain a bit more of an advantage than the other. So there's plenty of opportunity and a good incentive there. We've got points off offer here in these World Finals. In a race battery against the windscreen, they come down the start finish straight. So lap 3 out of 5 we are on. We come across the timing line then here. And sort of the three outlines, Mazda, Porsche and Subaru, they've got 2 second advantage now over Nissan, who sit there in fourth position.
So we just down part to the contact earlier on, but Porsche looking very aggressive, looking to make a move, maybe a Team Mazda. They like the outside moving, does Serrano. When he gets on Paul Euro, he's down, round the outside goes, so Serrano for Team Porsche. Porsche passing his teammate, his Spanish teammate there, Paul Ure in the Mazda. Man, these guys really are going, aren't they? In the back there, to give him a trying to follow his way through. These top three cars give us a hell of a show.
This circuit really does set the Subaru there in third place as well. So let's keep an eye out and see what Miyazono is going to be able to do as they make their way through. Now the circuit begins to open up a little bit in this sort of mid-section of it with swings right hand. And this is a bit of an Achilles heel for Subaru. It's a very good car in techniques of the track. On the long straight, not so good because it didn't have the same straight line speed. This is Lexus versus Lamborghini down to the first corner. Mercedes and BMW have just come careering into the side of them. So Lamborghini really suffering some misfortune in this race. They've got the aggressor in that one, unfortunately. I think there's going to be more penalties coming their way.
Yeah, there's a lot of this going on. It's really hard to pick your braking zone down there. Unfortunately, if you're on the outside ahead of them, you kind of act as the brake. And of course, that'll be looked into by our stewards as well. On board now with Miyazono in the Subaru, really working the wheel of this Subaru BRZ. Almost run into the back of the Mazda. Lamborghini, unsurprisingly, they're slapped for 2-second penalties. So, yeah, that's what you get for shunting a car off. Lamborghini, that'll hurt them. Well, to be honest, they're a 7th now, but 2 seconds will put them down to about where AMG is. Now, here's where we see the weakness of this Subaru. Runs out of puff on the straights, but very light, very agile. In that draft, actually, wasn't falling back too much.
No, okay, the slip through at the moment. Let's see whether Miyazono can use that to his advantage coming down towards the first corner. Mercedes and BMW under investigation there as well. Still nothing on Nissan and the contact that we saw in towards that first corner as to whether they're going to be picking up a penalty for their part in the incident. BMW look like they're out of this one though, as Laboutelet has not come across the line in a fair amount of time. We come through this left-hander though. We're now on the penultimate lap of racing here. This is a favourite overtaking spot that we've seen over the course of this one. And now are we going to start to see Miyazono coming through? There is BMW, there is Laboutelet, who clearly looks to be suffering from what appears to be some kind of a technical problem, being stranded on the side of the circuit. But I have to say, Jimmy, the rain intensity looks to have decreased somewhat in the sort of latter stages of this race. I think the circuit's going to dry up significantly, but it's definitely a bit less heavy in terms of the rainfall than it was a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, as you say, Tom, I think it's not really going to dry so much towards the end of the race. There is really a straight fight between these guys. You can see going into this hairpin there, the lock that Paul Ure in that Mazda on, just crossing the wheel over, trying to get some grip out of those front tyres, and just scrubbing across. And it's been a great race from Jose Serrano in that Porsche, really showing what that car can do in these conditions and flirting with danger, touching those curves in the wet, always a little bit scary. But not for these guys, proper pros here, as we watch Miyazono again. Let's see where this car is strong, the Subaru. Really quick in these last couple of corners. What can they do about it?
Yeah, that is the question. Lamborghini and Ferrari exchanging positions there. Mercedes picking up a penalty for their part in the collision, presumably with BMW. On board we ride though with Takuma Miyazono. We come through the left-hander in towards the final 2 corners of the circuit to begin the last lap of racing. And Porsche and Serrano now just being to build a little bit of a cushion actually over Mazda and Subaru. And I wonder if that might just be enough for them to not come under any real threat on this final lap, which we now begin with Porsche leading from Mazda, from Subaru. That's your top 3.
Yeah, a little wiggle there from Miyazono, so that's really going to hurt him going on to this lap. So, last lap of the second race here at Fukuoka. Team Porsche leading by 6/10 from Team Mazda. Subaru in third place. We're on board now. Miyazono, can he invent something here? Anything that he can do? He's a bit far back, I think, to have any sort of lunge here. He's got a big strength to contend with. We know this car doesn't do too well with, but he's really fast, Miyazono. He can really make this thing work if he can just find the line. But Paul Ure also trying to get back onto the rear spoiler of the Porsche, but we have to say that Serrano's just looked in a league of his own here.
Yeah, first sector, Ure was actually a little bit quicker by a few tenths of a second over Serrano, so he can continue building that advantage into the final sector of this one and continue that same sort of trajectory. There's a good opportunity for a possible lunge in the final few stages of this one. So Mazda and Subaru were tied on points at the start of this race. If the checker flag finishes as it is now, it'll be Mazda with a 2-point advantage going into the penultimate race of the season in the Manufacturers' Cup, with Porsche there in 3rd position, but very close indeed with just 3 points separating those three teams.
There's to bring Porsche right back into it. You know, Angela was saying at the start of this, like, I fancy this. I reckon we can do this, Team Porsche. We can be champions if we can just get a good couple of races. This will be ideal for them. Only a few more corners separate Porsche and Jose Serrano from a win here in race 2.
You're again a tenth of a second faster, gap down to just under half a second now, so it just takes that one mistake from Jose Serrano at the sharp end of this one. One slip of the tyres, one slide into the corners under braking, and that could present the opportunity that Paul Ura and Mazda are looking for a dive. We come through into that final turn though, and unless we see a mistake from Jose Serrano, it is going to be Porsche that will come through to take the checkered flag. Out of the final corner we go, and across the line, Porsche win race 2 from Mazda and from Subaru. Serrano takes victory from his compatriot Paul Ura. Miyazono on the podium there in 3rd position, which means that we've now got 3 manufacturers separated by just 3 points at the sharp end of this one, with 2 races to go at the checkered flag. Ferrari versus Lamborghini to the line there as well was very close for 7th place. João Jesus just getting the better of Lamborghini's Alfa Romeo. But what a race from Paul Ura and from Jose Serrano. Ultimately, a very calm and controlled race from Serrano. Once he got his way through around the outside for the race lead, he just never looked like he was bothered again.
How close was that? Less than 2 tenths at the end there. So definitely chased home was Jose Serrano by his compatriot Paul Ura. But you're seeing now why we've had such Spanish domination this year. These guys just incredibly fast. And for Team Porsche, that's huge. That really puts them properly in contention now. We've got 3 teams starting to pull away from the rest. Mazda, Subaru and Porsche, with only 2 more races left this year.
Yep, so 32 points now for Mazda, 30 points for Subaru and 29 points for Porsche. They're your sort of outliers, really. Of course, another opportunity for 12 points on offer in this 3rd race. And then we go up to double points for that for the grand final as well. So let's see how that one is going to work out. Well, time for reflection after that 2nd race. Wet conditions at the Autopolis Raceway.